and it's very powerful in communication. Very, very
Huge.
powerful
It's
because
enormous. It's
you
enormous.
have the power on the communication. I am being myself. I'm
Mm,
sorry if you are not being yourself.
mm.
And the power to be honest with yourself. Uh, if you are doing, if you are able to do, you have the advantage in the communication or in the negotiation.
An enormous welcome to season 2 of the Power Talks. Thank you so much for being here. From my heart, I'm really grateful that you pressed play today. You're very, very welcome here. So, this podcast is dedicated to amplifying the voices of female leaders who speak English as their second, third, fourth, fifth language. I want to raise consciousness around what power looks and sounds like, ultimately, what power can be. I'm interested in examining the blocks and the barriers that women experience when it comes to expressing power, authority, expertise, and how that intensifies when we add English. And I'm also interested in how we can break through those blocks, break through those barriers, let go of inherited limitations, and learn to connect to personal power. And from that place, skillfully communicate and therefore lead with absolute authenticity. So I have some incredible guests this season. I'm really excited. Thanks again for being here, and let's go. For our third episode, I'm very, very excited to say that we have Eva Diaz with us. Eva is an incredible guest for us to have. She has extensive experience in the world of consulting, having worked for many years with firms such as Accenture and Deloite. She's a seasoned leader in innovation management, IT, and business operations, and she excels in transforming vision into tangible solutions that deliver impact. Ava's personal journey adds a unique dimension to her professional expertise, but also to the conversation that you will hear today. In her book, Buscando a Eva, she navigated a gender transition, a profound transformation, and that reshaped both her identity and her career. Through resilience and determination, she has redefined success on her own terms, embracing authenticity while continuing to make an impact in the business world. She started her own consultancy firm, Shaping the New, at the age of 60, and she's dedicated to reshaping leadership. It was a massive honour for me to have Eva on the show. We spoke about many, many, many things, how it's never too late to pursue a dream, which is just beautiful. We talk about human-centric leadership, how we move from hierarchy to loyalty, the power of influence, to be able to change culture, change mindsets. We talk about how a gender transition process is really about looking for who you are, which is something that we can all relate to. We talk about public speaking, and that the most important thing is that you need to be comfortable with who you are and convinced about what you're talking about, especially as a woman, because women are not given the same courtesy as men. Eva says that as a man, when she was speaking in public, she was guaranteed a minimum amount of attention, but as a woman, that's not the case. We talk about how when you show who you really are, you create connection. And we talk about inclusive spaces and inclusive cultures. They're not the same thing. And we talk about diversity being fundamentally about acceptance. See, I told you, lots of things, many things. So I have to say that this interview was really, really special for me. The topic of the theme of authenticity, we talk a lot about that and how becoming an authentic leader requires, and an authentic person, but as a leader especially, it requires that you let go of inherited ideas, right? This is a beautiful process. We also talk about how feeling powerful is not enough. You have to be able to express it, to move people, to have an impact on people, to have an effect on people. And I really loved Ava's comments on this topic. I hope you enjoy the interview. The first thing really is thank you, for being here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you to you.
Appreciated, very appreciated. So, what I'm asking my guests to do in this season, in this second season, is just for you, in your own words, to
Mhm.
explain what it is that you are working on right this now, what this moment in your life, in your own words, just so that you can, tell my audience what motivates you, where you are.
Okay, I think that to get you the right answer, I need to explain what is my life moment right today. Um, I've been a CEO in technology and consulting companies until 1 year ago. And at the beginning of the 2023, I decided I need, or I feel the need to change my life and to go out from corporation or from normal companies and dedicate my life because I'm 61 years old. So this is very important in order to take decisions on the life. No? So I took the decision 1 year ago, more or less, 1 year and a half, that I had to dedicate the last years of my life, of my professional life, to what really I am. It's my dream, or it's my dream today. It's not the dream when you are 20 years old is very different when you are 60 years old. So currently I'm focused on basically on something that I think is very important. That is to change the style of the leadership on Spanish companies. Spanish in the first step. Maybe in the future will be Europe. From a hierarchical style of leadership, from a more, I would say, using words that are very common on our language today, human-centric leadership. So I think that we have to change the leadership. Or I think that we must change the style of leadership on our companies in order to be sure that our companies are successful on the age that we are living right now. Our leadership more oriented to be authentic leaderships, leaders that are generating the power by loyalty from their teams, not by the hierarchy of the category on the company. This
You said an interesting word there, which takes me to my next question, which is about power. It's about power, right?
Yeah,
Like, so for you, I guess through your life, your definition of power has evolved. I guess. What is your definition of power now? Do you think?
I think there are two kind of powers. One of them is the power to influence on persons, on the company, on culture or etc. The power of influence is based on the knowledge or the experience of not even the leader and the person that is in the leader. The power of influence is able to change cultures, is able to change mindsets, and is able to generate loyalty. And there are another kind of power that is the power of make the things are done. This is the classical power of hierarchy. The power of influence is able maybe able to change the world and the culture of a company in the long term. The power of be sure that something is done is able to execute in the short time. I think that the real power is, or someone is able to have the real power when it's able to change or to combine the power of influence and the power of execute. The real power, or the real power is a power that is able to inspire the teams, is
Mm.
able to motivate the teams to do something, is able to, and it's based on the authenticity of the person. Is based on the. I think that there are a big power that the power of the leader, of the vulnerability of the leader. This kind of power based on the soul, if you want, of the person is a very impressive power because it's able to move the people. when someone has disabled to change things and have the power to make sure that the things are done, really you have a leader that is able or that have the real power.
And is that something for you? You said that like you arrived at 61 and decided, okay, I need to make a change. Is that somehow connected to you feeling more powerful to do
Absolutely.
that? Like what? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's connected with the people that you are.
Yeah.
It's connected with your soul, with your beliefs, with your values, and it's generated because you are convinced about the thing that you are telling to the others one. For example, when I talk about change the leadership to the executives, it's because in my transition I lived the difference between the hierarchical leader that I was when I was a man and another kind of leadership based on my condition of woman after my transition. And I was able to experience both kind of power. And especially I experienced my transition is just it's not a process of change the suite from address or the suite to address. Is the a transition gender transition process. Basically, is the looking for who you are, really who you are. So I have to, in my transition process, have to eliminate everything that I have learned from the past to be in the society according to the standards that the society was claiming for me, and looking inside of me what who really I was, and then I find my authenticity. When you are connected with you, you have the power of authenticity because what you are saying, what you are doing is really connected with the person that you are. This is a power that is able to inspire, that is able to connect with other people. But this power is not able to create a new world or a new environment. I mean, um, I can write a book. I can explain my experience. I can do a lot of seminars and etc. talking about my experience. Okay, I'm inspiring another people, but I'm not changing another people. Okay. Currently, I have my own company that is shaping the new, and I working hardly on create a company that is able to change the mentality of the leadership of the companies. Okay, so I'm trying to combine sorry, the power of change the mentality, or at least to inspire a new way of leadership with the power of change that leadership. This is the real power because I'm inspiring, but at the same time I'm able to change the mentality on the real life. Okay, my book is I know if it's a good book. It's not my role to say if my book is a good or not, but maybe my book make thinking or make to people thinking on about who I am. Okay,
Okay.
what is the
What is
experience of Eva? What of I can inspire on the experience of Eva, but it's not making sure that someone is changing. Okay,
Wow.
I can talk with leaders to make to try to convince them that they have to change the style of leadership. But my experience is that the leadership only change the leadership style when really they have a power need or a powerful need to change. Okay, so through my company, I can work with them, and I have currently 3 projects on in progress to change the style of leadership or 3 persons or 3 leaders. Okay, so currently I'm combining the power of my experience, my power of inspiring by my experience with the power that I'm the consultant that I'm working with you in order to be sure that you are changing. Uh, power, if the power is not changing something, it's power, but
Yeah.
it's not
So
so
I
power.
want to ask you. I want to ask you about communication, because I believe that the foundation of good leadership, the foundation of change, the foundation of making your vision real. Yes, it starts with this connection to personal power and being authentically you, but then the next step to that is how you communicate that. How you
Hmm.
communicate with the people around you, the people in your team, the people in your life, how you communicate with yourself even. And so I'm fascinated really with communication and how the way that we, for example, if we're speaking English as a second language, how does that impact, how does that affect the way that we communicate?
Um, First of all, power without communication is not power, or
Bravo.
is not
I
an
agree.
effective power.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly.
Um,
I agree.
because power is basically the ability to change people, or should be. So to change people, you have to communicate. About English as second language, obviously for me it's not. It's a challenge, obviously. My natural language is Spanish. Uh, Especially, it's a challenge, especially when we are talking about emotions, about feelings, about more personal issues. Think that um, I studied English in the past in the college, but my real experience with English was at the first times of my experience and my professional experience in Accenture, and it was a very professional language, a very professional English.
Like
In,
functional, no? Like
in
really sort
consulting,
of
we are
functional.
not able to express emotions in, in consulting. So
Mm.
today, I will say that you have a level of fluency in English, I will say 80%, for example, uh, and you are convinced about what you are saying. My capacity of communication in English is acceptable. Obviously, it's not like in Spanish, but I've worked in English in several works, and in the last year because I have a foundation for helping young leaders, young women leaders, to be the leadership of the futures. And I've been working in English. I have had not special problems, but I was not able to express uh, fully my emotions like I would like.
Do you think that that then interferes with the way that you can show your expertise, or the way that you can show authority, or the way that you can express power? How does it interfere with that?
About to express authority, I think that there is. I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
To talk about my experience, I think that is no problem. Okay, because in general the other person is trying to understand to understand me. So it's an effort from myself and from the others one to try to understand. The main problem is not just to experience or to express the experience. Is um, to express fully details in something moments or in something experience. I will say that I'm able to translate at least 80-90% of my ideas and my knowledge. Maybe the problem will be in the details or in a more detailed work.
There's something that Accenture talk about, which is executive presence,
Hmm.
which is something that it's like a quality that you carry, and then before you even open your mouth, people can they have a sense of that. Do you think that's something that you had and have? Do you think you had it as a younger person? It,
Um, People say that I'm able to transmit emotions on my expositions. Um, I've been talking in public from I would say 30 years ago. So in fact,
okay.
and I have a lot of weakness that I'm not going to say right now.
Okay.
But I think that my capacity to translate emotions, to translate the message in a conversation or in a public situation is high. So in real, there is no problem. I think that the capacity to express or to communicate in public, I think that some techniques can be learned and can be practiced, but
And yeah.
you need something inner to be sure that you are able to transmit.
But is that something that you had naturally, or did you cultivate that inner essence?
I have no clear answer for that. Um, my feeling is that a part of this capacity to express in public is a inner capacity. I've tried sign skills, look to the people, don't move a lot the hands and etc. But when you are talking in public, the most important is uh, as you are convinced about what you are translating to the others.
Yeah.
Um, if you have right techniques on hands, on noise, on how you are seeing or you are watching to the other one, it's fine. But if you are not convinced on what you are saying, you are not
Yeah.
selling unconvinced. So please believe me.
Can
So
I ask you, right, so as a woman, when you transitioned, did you notice a difference with how you were received? But when I mean in terms of communicating, like in terms of
ah
being in a room, being in a meeting,
um
giving a
I
speech.
I took a moment at the beginning of my transition. I'm beginning of my transition now. At the beginning of my work in Exacta, that it was my first work like woman, like executive woman. That I had problems to be sure that the people was really trying to understand me. But I think it was not a problem of communication. It was a problem that I was a woman, and usually the people try to consider a woman who is speaking about something or is telling about something is not so relevant or so important than if it was a man.
I mean, this is
Not
what
about communication skills, just because I was a woman.
this is what I mean. I've seen throughout my career thousands of times, and there's lots of research about it. You know, when a woman speaks, they are not taken as seriously. They are not considered as important. What they have to say is not listened to in the same way as a male speaker. And I just like it's fascinating because you've had the experience of being of both, and so I wondered how that interferes with how you present yourself and how people receive you. You know, like how that interferes with
When you're a
communication.
man and you are speaking to a public, a minimum of attention is warranted by the public.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
you are a man. Something important I have to say because you are a man, no? If you are a woman, the minimum is not warranted. So you have to, or I had to make a special effort, not in the moment of the communication, even in the previous moment to get the authority, not the executive authority, the moral authority, to be sure that uh, they are interested on my speech.
And do you think it comes back, like in terms of advice for people, do you think it comes back to just being sure that you know exactly what your message is?
I think it depends on the relationship between the speaker, the woman speakers, and the audience.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, because for example, I had problems at the beginning, but after that, I was in several newspapers, so my voice was knowledge by in general by people, and I had a preview review of my ideas. So when I was to speak to other ones, I had warranted in advance the attention. In general, I would say that a woman need that the introduction is more um, relevant than if you are a man. You need something that is very um, uh, different to take attention from the audience if you are a woman. You're very sure that at the beginning they are shocked and they try, well, what who is want to speech or to speak to us, no? In just a moment, in just the first 30 seconds, 1 minute, in order to be sure that you get attention with no, some expressions or a joke or something in order to be sure that you get the attention initially. And I will say that the speech of a man can be more uh, boring, but women need to put a special effort on be sure that she is taking the attention in any moment.
I would like to just quickly add in here. Listen, I believe that there is so much that women can do to own the room, right? I mean, my work is dedicated to that. And obviously, I believe that women can learn how to do this. But ultimately, what really needs to happen is that audiences need to be educated differently so that they can learn to give attention to whoever is speaking, regardless of gender, ethnicity, accent, whatever it is. We need to be able to learn how to hear expertise in a variety of voices, not just the male ones. I'm fascinated with how gender interferes with the way that we communicate. I think the way that women have been conditioned and the way that men have been conditioned has a huge influence on how we view our voice.
Uh, I'm sure that what I've changed is my way to express or to communicate with others. One that's very sure. I'm not sure about hearing,
Do you do
but
you know how? Do you know how that's
uh,
changed?
in my past, like men, I was more technical on communication.
Okay.
Okay, I was not so passionate like I like a woman. Uh, I was not in the past. I was not able, or I didn't want. I don't know to translate emotions, sensations, and etc.
Do you think?
Current.
Oh, one question. Like, do you think you didn't want to? It's fascinating. Like, do you think that you didn't want like show more emotion as a man, or that you didn't feel that you were that you were allowed to, that you had permission to?
Um, Probably I didn't feel that I was that like a man. It was not accepted to show
Yeah,
emotion
okay.
in
That's
the
what I
past.
wonder.
Okay. There are another condition is that like a man, my personality, not my personality, my way to express myself like a man was very different like woman. Since that when I was living like a man, I feel that I had to show to the other one a kind of person that was not my real person. So in some way I was using um, tools or strategies to communicate in the way that the other one was expecting to meet, or I think that the other one was expecting to me. When I did the transition, I feel after a process because it's not the day to day.
Yeah, yeah, no, of
Um,
course, clearly.
I did or I was more, or I'm more sure about myself. I'm not
Yeah.
sure about my beliefs, about my values, about what are my feelings, and based on that, um, uh, because I'm combined about what I am, what I think, what I believe, I'm able to express my opinions and my feelings with more combined to the others one.
And Ava, I need to say this. I hope it's okay. It's also really brave to say, do you know what? I am going to live my absolute truth, which means I am going to live as the woman that I was born as. That's really brave, and I think it's when we for there's that element to start communicating from a place of authenticity, a place connected to your values, honest, real honest, yeah, connection to who you are, and then to move into the world as that person is it's that bravery is necessary. I think.
Um, to be sure that you are able to translate to the others one with your real feelings, you have to be very, very comfortable with the person that you are. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
In the others one, you are lying to the people, um, and you are trying to combine about things or ideas that are not yours.
Not
So
yours.
you need to be, if you want to be you want to real make a change or influence on the people that we were talking about previously about the kind of power. If you want to influence on the people, you have to be honest with yourself.
Yourself, yeah.
Being honest with yourself, you can translate your ideas. The people receives it's very curious because when you are communicating, especially in some kind of communications, when you are talking about leadership, about authenticity of dreams or fears or etc., people feel it's curious, but people that is on the audience is feeling if you are honest or not. And the people feel that you are not honest immediately they disconnect. Okay, and to be honest on what you are saying, you have to be honest with yourself, or you have to believe really on what you are saying. It's impossible. Well, it's impossible. Not it's impossible, but it's very difficult to communicate things that you are not convinced of that. It's not impossible because the politicians are doing every day.
They do it all the time, yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But you've said there a really beautiful thing, like when you show your true self in a professional context also, people respond to the real you. No, it gives them
Uh,
permission to be themselves as well, I think.
One of the most important things that I discovered when I did the transition is that uh, when you are showing to the others one as like you are really you are, you generate a lot of communication, a lot of not even communication, connection with your uh,
connection.
with other people, even if are clients or providers or team. If you are being, if you are showing like you are generating a channel of communication, a channel of connection with other people, because if you are being yourself, in the other person is generating a feeling that is very important. Is the feeling of confidence. I can confidence on this person that is being authenticity in front of me. I'm sure that they are not lying. I'm sure that they are. I'm sorry, translation to English. Sincerity. Okay.
Yeah, sincere. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
if
absolutely.
I confidence with this person that is showing like he or she is, uh, I'm more able to connect with with that person. My experience that in the past, in my mind experience, when I wasn't really an actor about my life with the world, my capacity to communicate or not to communicate, my capacity to create honest and durable connections with other people was absolutely fewer than women. Like women, I can say uh, I'm able to generate connections very strong, very valuable for me, very valuable for others, because I'm showing what I am. Obviously, there are a lot of persons that don't want to be with me, but the issue is that you don't want to be for me is not interesting. The main issue about communication is that if you are communicating what really the things that you believe. The second one is how to you are able to communicate. But the first one is if you are really uh, showing your ideas, your values, your beliefs, and etc. Even if you are talking about professional activities, no. So, and the other issue that is very important is when you are absolutely convinced that uh, you have no fear. Uh, if you are trying to be someone that you are not, you have the fear if they are going to uncover what you really are. Sorry, but when you are being absolutely honest with yourself when you are talking with someone, you have no fear about their response, about their answer, about the reactions. I've been honest with myself when I'm talking with you. If you are not agree with me, I'm sorry, but it's not important for me. It's not relevant, your opinion about me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
relevant about what you are talking, but not your opinion about me. When you are able um to isolate from the fear about the other what the others ones think about yourself, you have reached real freedom, and in that moment you are able to communicate without the fear about if I told him or told her this one are going to be this person's angry with me, is going to be a negative reaction or it is no, it's my opinion. It's my opinion,
yeah,
it's my value, and it's my opinion. You don't like that? Okay, I'm sorry.
yeah.
And it's very powerful in communication. Very
Huge.
powerful
It's
because
enormous. It's
you
enormous.
have the power on the communication. I am being myself. I'm
Mm,
sorry if you are not being yourself.
mm.
And the power to be honest with yourself. Uh, if you are able to do, you have the advantage in the communication or in the negotiation.
All right, so my last question, I think, and just kind of the last to just to finish up. No, it's about advice that you would give to. So advice that you would give to people that are speaking English as their second language in international contexts, but also women who are speaking English as their second language. What advice would you give them to help them use their voice more?
First of all, I think that the most important when we are speaking in English in an auditory or in a congress is to be sure that you are not worried about your pronunciation or about your English. My experiences and especially the person that are in front of you, usually in a majority they are trying to understand you. The second one, obviously, you have to train, you have to learn English. English is very, very, very important. If you feel confident with your English in your presentations or in your activity or in your work, you are going to be more successful, obviously. I think that the second language or even the third language for executives, I will say that it's not important. It's absolutely basic to be successful. It's important if you are now worried about to speak in English in public, but try to work in improve as soon as possible and as much as possible your English.
Leaders now in general, how can they create spaces that are inclusive to people of different gender, trans people, people from every kind of diverse or marginalized group? Like what can how can leaders create spaces that facilitate inclusion for all of the different voices that we have?
I think that currently in 2024, leaders are trying to create inclusive spaces in the companies. Okay, basically by one reason is because you know that talent is not you have a fault of talent in the market, no.
Yes.
So they need to be sure that they have the right people in the company. So they are, that's my cut. So
That's sweet.
they are trying to create inclusive spaces. What I'm not so sure is they are trying to create inclusive cultures. It is not the same.
Oh, that's very interesting
It's very, very
distinction. Yes.
different. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um,
Brava.
my experience like executive is that the top executive are concerned about skills of talent. So that way they think, okay, I need I don't know 1,000 people in my company, so I will have to create the ways or the mechanisms to be sure that I have woman, I have this capacity or etc. Because I have the need and because I have to show to the society like a diversity company because diversity is a value that is taken in mind by by my customers when I show to the society. Uh, this attitude that is, I think, is very common really right now in the executives is creating the mechanism to to accept gender diversity, LGBT diversity, discapacity, and other translation, the politic translation to English and or etc. Okay, but they are not working on the culture. For example, about LGTB, that's my own experience. A lot of companies are working on create the diversity team, the diversity manager that is creating the protocols to accept gay or lesbian or transsexual. But I think that diversity is more about to accept another one. Okay, basically because all of us are diverse. Told I don't know, it was someone from Russia. When I see you today, all of us are diverse. Okay. Uh, a culture of diversity is a culture when I accept different mindsets from the people. It's a culture when I accept divergent opinions about the issues, about the strategy, where I accept different life conditions from the people, and a culture where I try to combine all of this capacity of different points of view about life, about moments, about market, about production, in a way that all of this point of view are working together in order to generate a new company or a new strategy or a new way to go to market. And diversity is not about gender. Diversity is not about LGTB. Diversity is about all of us. I remember an executive that I was working on with them that he was worried about LGBT. I told her, and I told that to every executive that's in front of me. Don't worry. You are worried about LGTB. LGTB is at 50% of people at the world. Okay? You have to be worried about the diversity of the 100% of your people on your company. Because you can have men divorce, women divorce, men that have some kind of special needs or etc. Or people that have different point of view. If I accept LGTB, if I accept women, if I accept discapacity people, but I try to put or to implant just one idea, one way to think on the company, that's not diversity. Okay. Diversity is the capacity of the company to generate a new market, a new strategy, and a new way to operate of the people or the company from the different point of view of people. Is to respect the ideas of all. Is to respect the point of view of all. Is to get value from the different style of life. I think that the value of the different points of view and the value of the diversity is the value of the different point of view, the creativity that is generated through different point of view, and the
Yeah,
creativity
yeah.
that is generated from the diversity.
So it's that ability, isn't it, to be able to like adapt to something new, be flexible, include other ideas. Like yeah, being able to be flexible, no, adaptable, not just be like rigid. This is how it is, and that's we've always done it like this, and so that's how it needs to be. Like no, be able to go okay, and I think that comes from being confident in yourself, knowing who you are, and being like right, okay, I'm confident. I trust myself. I feel secure about who I am and about the way that I lead, which means I am not scared by a completely new set of values.
In fact, when the leader is really a leader based on authenticity, when the leader is a leader that is very confident about himself, is more open to different opinions, is more open to different points of view of the different generation or the different gender or etc. In shaping the new, that's my company. When we talk to the executives to say that you have to change your leadership style, one of the reasons is because you have to be open to different point of views. And it's absolutely impossible to be open to the different point of view if you are executing your leadership in a hierarchical style.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you show your vulnerability to your team, when you show to your team what really or the people that really you are, you get something very important from your team, that is loyalty. And when the people is loyal, the people is following you, even with your vulnerability or with your problems, because they are confident on you. They are open to show you. their emotions, their opinions, or even they are open to modify their opinions if they are convinced by you that is important.
So what did you think? Did you enjoy that as much as I did? I hope so. Please feel free to join the conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topics that we talked about today. And if you are a woman who speaks English as your second, third, fourth, fifth language, I really hope that you feel inspired to use your voice more. The world needs you more than ever. I would like to say an enormous thank you. Thank you to you for listening, and thank you to my guests who are always so generous, sharing their time and their experiences with us. I really, really appreciate all of you. I am on a mission to amplify the voices of women who speak English as their second, third or fourth, fifth language. For me, this project and all of my work really is about actively and intentionally redefining what power looks and sounds like, what power can be. I want to contribute to normalising hearing, power, expertise, authority in the voices of women particularly who speak English as their second, third, fourth, fifth language. If this is something that you would like to support, please like and subscribe. Share this podcast with your network. All of these little actions help to get visibility to the project. Also, feel free to contact me if you or the women in your organisation would benefit from power training, communication training in English. I am here to be of service. A link to my website is somewhere around. It's sarahjane.life. Okay, I hope to see you for the next episode. In the meantime, have a powerful few weeks.